This is an English story called Prince Christian and the Pirate. There had been a great sea victory. As a reward, the good king and queen invited Captain Jolly and all the brave sailors to a grand party at the palace. They each received a bright, shiny medal and lots of good things to eat. Christian, the young prince, looked on. It was an important day for him too. The queen was allowing him to join the sailors and go to sea. It was to be a special voyage. Being nearly Christmas, their majesties were sending toys and presents to their subjects in a far-off land. The most important present of all was a Christmas tree, which was so tall it seemed to touch the sky. Christian helped Captain Jolly and his crew tie the tree to the deck. Then they hoisted the sails, weighed anchor, and headed for the open sea. Christian set about exploring the ship and having some fun, up the mast and down the riggings. Meanwhile, Captain Jolly and his crew were feeling very worried. Strange noises were coming from the hold, where all the toys and presents had been carefully stored. There it was again. The crew were afraid. Perhaps it was ghosts. Captain Jolly had to investigate. He slowly slid back the hatch and peered inside. It was pitch black. Who would go down? Who could go down? Only room for a boy, and a small one at that. "I'll go," said Christian bravely. "Good lad," said the captain, and gave the prince his deadly sword. Christian climbed down into the darkness. He listened. Where could the noises be coming from? Here? There? Or could it be... Yes! They were coming from a large red box. The box was lying on its side. With the tip of his sword, Christian slowly lifted the lid and jumped back. The lid fell open to reveal... No, it couldn't be. Dolls! As the ship rowed about, the dolls cried, "Ma, ma, ma, ma." Christian laughed and couldn't wait to tell Captain Jolly. Meanwhile, Captain Thunder, notorious pirate of the seven seas, was sailing closer and closer. Had the lookout been at his post, Captain Jolly and his crew would have been warned, but the black-hearted pirates were able to climb aboard unnoticed and quickly overpowered Captain Jolly and his men. Captain Thunder, dagger clenched between his teeth, a wild look in his eye, swung onto the deck and shouted, "This ship be mine, and you be all me prisoners. Bind him in chains, lock him below, and fetch me some rum. I'll be a-thinking of the sport I'll be a-having with them." While this was happening, Christian was hiding in the hold. Seeing Captain Thunder standing there, he lunged forward, swinging the great sword. A flash of steel. Whoosh! The sword had cut Captain Thunder's wooden leg in two. He yelled and roared, "Hold that lad! Take the captain and crew and clap 'em in irons below. Leave the boy. I've a score to settle with him. I'll make him walk the plank." At that moment, Captain Thunder saw the Christmas tree lying across the deck and thought, "Shiver me timbers, a piece of that would make me a fine peg leg. Call the ship's carpenter. Make me a leg out of that," he snarled. "Make it quick, or I'll feed you to the fishes." The poor Christmas tree, only the top remained. How sad it looked. But its magic was working. The leg was strapped on. Captain Thunder felt a strange tingling which made him want to smile. It got worse and worse, and his nasty face broke into a huge grin, and he felt all warm and kind inside. With a sparkle in his eye, he turned to the prince and said, "What's your name, lad?" "Christian, sir," said the young prince. The pirates stood thunderstruck. Was this their captain, old Thunder, the terror of the seven seas, laughing and speaking kindly to a prisoner? They slunk off to the far side of the ship and held council. "He be gone mad," said one. "Bewitched," said another. "Possessed," That's what he be, possessed. He's not fit to be our captain, they chorused. String him up! They rushed at him, and he was quickly overpowered. In the confusion, Christian slipped down into the hold. He had remembered the dolls in the big red box. They would frighten the pirates as they had frightened Captain Jolly's men. He laid the box on its side, and the dolls started crying. Mama, Mama, Mama. He crawled back and crept up to where Captain Thunder had been left bound and gagged. Don't be frightened, he said. It's part of my plan. The pirates were so terrified by the sound of the wailing dolls, they fled over the side and were never seen again. After Christian had set Jolly and his crew free, they accepted Captain Thunder's kind invitation to visit his secret island. They climbed the hill to the caves where the captain lived, surrounded by all his treasure. "Where did you get it?" asked Christian. "I stole it," he said, and hung his head in shame. "All of it?" exclaimed Captain Jolly. "Aye," said Captain Thunder, "and there's worse. The whole island be full of it." Captain Jolly shook his head. "It must go back," said Christian. The crew spent all day digging it up and loading it onto the ship till the island was covered in holes. It did look funny. Captain Thunder was unhappy about his island being full of holes, like a piece of floating cheese. But he had an idea. Could Captain Jolly bring him a cargo of baby Christmas trees to plant in the holes, and when they grew tall and strong he could take them to all the children of the islands. So he could repay the magic Christmas tree for making him into a good captain. And so from that time forth he became known as Captain Christmas. And instead of the parrot that usually perches on a pirate's shoulder, there sparkled the magic fairy from the top of the Christmas tree.